Good evening, everyone. The flooding is around me. It's all the way around me in my area, but it's not affecting us in our home. It's just there are a lot of roads that are flooded, a lot of area, um, farmland, family homes and stuff like that, but not us, thankfully. But it's cut down a lot of the side roads and stuff like that. So I mean, trying to get anywhere is like a constant traffic jam right now because everybody's using the main roads that are open. Hello, Pippadot. It's crazy. I guess the last time it flooded anything like this was like 30 years ago. It was the last time they had any type of flooding that was close to this. Well, welcome everyone to tonight's trivia. Tonight, all the trivia questions are on murders associated with Hollywood. Hollywood murders. Oh yeah, well we're good. You'd have to have a dam break for to get enough water to come to where we are though. We're good. I mean, normally to go to the grocery store, Kitty Q, it usually takes me about 20 minutes one way to get to the grocery store. It took me an hour and a half today, one way, just going there. That's how much traffic there is. Because you have the normal people who would use all the other, tributary roads and stuff like that to get from place to place. They're all using the other roads. And then you've got people coming into town who are here for, like FEMA, because they did declare a FEMA disaster, this area, a FEMA disaster area. And so there's a couple bridges that have been completely wiped out. Those are going to be fixed overnight. Good morning and good evening and welcome to everyone. And as Kitty Coop says there in her chat message, remember to be on all messages or live chat, not top chat. Welcome, Mary Frederick. Sorry for mispronouncing that. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Give it another 40 seconds here, and then we will get this going. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. All right, let's get tonight's trivia night going. This is the 386th episode. Yes, that means there are 385 other episodes of Trivia Night. Warning. This Trivia Night strictly adheres to factual evidence verified by the FBI, Department of Justice, Interpol, and Scotland Yard whenever needed, along with court records and transcripts from trials. It does not include conspiracy theory speculations or unverified claims about what may have happened. If you are seeking sensationalism or content related to similar theories or lies spread by those who can't be bothered to do the research on the topic, this event and topic may not be the right fit for you. All of tonight's trivia questions have been researched and have come from the following: the Associated Press, Entertainment Tonight, California State Patrol, and the LA Times. is where all of the questions came from. If there's an issue with any of the questions, please let me know, and I will give you a shot at and do a correction later on. But that is where all of the questions came from tonight, is those sources. While you're here, if you haven't clicked on that subscribe button, if you find this content interesting and you want to see more of it, click on that subscribe button. It's absolutely free to subscribe, to be notified of the next trivia night, and you won't be sorry. I mean, a lot of people love being here. Tonight's Hollywood crimes of murder. These are famous crimes of murder that took place from between 1970 to recent. Nothing that tried to have anything older than 1970. There may be a couple that happened close to that period, but I wanted to make it more of a timeline that people who are here tonight would know. These are all general Hollywood crimes. They may not have happened in Hollywood also, but they are connected to the movie industry and faced a gluttony, and the fast pace that should be gluttony in the industry. Stumbled through that pretty good, didn't I? All right, if you're on a cell phone or tablet and you're watching in the horizontal, the vertical format, you should turn your device to the horizontal, because all of the content that I have here is made to be displayed in the horizontal setting. No, you don't have to change your monitor on your computer if you're watching it from that, or your television, although you should already have it in the horizontal position. Without any further delay, let's get ready to rumble on some trivia. Question number 1 is now on your screen. Which actress was murdered by her ex-husband in 2001 outside a restaurant? Was it A, Sharon Tate, B, Bonnie Lee Bakley, C, Dorothy Stratton, or D, Lana Clarkston? Question number 1 of 20. Which actress was murdered by her ex-husband in 2001 outside a restaurant? Good evening, Juicy Jules. Left-handed RN, JDR. Long time no see. I hope you are doing well, JDR. Welcome to tonight's trivia on Hollywood murder. Question number 1. Kate for Big Little Voices. Good evening and welcome to our trivia night. Kate for Big Little Voices. Question number 1. The correct answer is B as in boy. She was murdered by her husband, Robert Blake. Robert Blake murdered her outside of the restaurant. Question number 2. Phil Spector was convicted for the 2003 murder of which actress? Was it A, Lana Clarkston, B, Adriana Shelley, C, Dominique Dunn, or D, Rebecca Schaefer? Question number 2 of 20. Phil Spector was convicted for the murder of in 2003 of which actress? Was she really an actress or a wannabe actress? I don't know. How do you determine what is a wannabe? If she did act, she was in movies, she was on television. Did she want to be a movie star? I mean, was it her main profession and call in life? I don't know. Those are all very subjective, questions. Smiling, gone. Smiling on time. I'm sorry. I had I don't have my glasses on. I should probably put those on so I can actually read. There we go. That's better. Sweet universe, good evening. And smiling on time. Good evening and welcome to our trivia night. All of the questions tonight are on Hollywood murders. Question number 2. The correct answer is A as in apple. A as in apple. Lana Clarkston was murdered by Phil Spector in 2003. Well, he was convicted then. Question number 3. What TV show was Rebecca Schaeffer starring when she was murdered in 1989? Was it A, One Day at a Time, B, Family Ties, C, Charles in Charge, or D, My Sister Sam? Question number 3 of 20. Like many actors, worked a waitress job at the House of Blues. Did you did, or I'm sorry, I probably in a context of something else that I just didn't see it. I'm really sorry. Question number 3. What TV show was Rebecca Schaeffer starring in when she was murdered in 1989? A tragic case. I mean, all murders tragic, but Phil's Wigs took a leading role in the trial coverage. Oh yeah, remember those big old afro, spun out hair. Looked like a madman. But that's Phil Spector for you. Question number 3. The correct answer is D as in dog. My Sister Sam. She was killed by a stalker, a deranged stalker, murdered in 1989. Way too soon. Question number 4. Dominique Dunne, murdered in 1982, was best known for her role in which film? Was it A, Poltergeist, B, Halloween, C, The Shining, or D, Friday the 13th? Question number 4 of 20. Dominique Dunne, murdered in 1982, was best known for her role in which film? Didn't some loony show up at her door? Her stalker? Yeah. Kids sing Christmas songs, church the best. So much fun. Love this. Well, thank you, Pippadot. Question number 4. The correct answer is A as in apple. Poltergeist. Dominique Dunne was most famously known for her role in the movie Poltergeist. Question number 5. Who murdered Dominique Dunne in 1982? Was it A, her father, B, her ex-boyfriend, C, her neighbor Kenneth, or D, her studio executive? Question number 5 of 20. Who murdered Dominique Dunne? Many of such stalkers lead to the final acts of homicide by prior stalking. Yeah, that's true. Bless all the lady victims. Rebecca Schaeffer, such a loss. Crazy fan, yeah. And the worst part about it, about the guy who killed Rebecca Schaeffer, her stalker, that everybody knew that this guy was a stalker, and they just didn't protect her. They could have, all of it could have been prevented if they would have taken and locked him away in a mental institution because she wasn't the only one that he was, obsessed with. But that was a very preventable death. Mary, you're right. I think every lady. Hello. Hello to all, says Ivory Lady. Question number 5. The correct answer is B as in boy. Her ex-boyfriend is who murdered Dominique Dunn in 1982. Question number 6. Dorothy Stratton, murdered in 1980, was not only an actress, but also which one of these was she also on top of being an actress? Was it A, an Olympic athlete, B, a penthouse playmate, C, a Playboy playmate, or D, a TV news anchor? Dorothy Stratton, question number 6 of 20, was murdered in 1980, was not only an actress, she was... Cops still don't take it as seriously as they should a lot of times. That is true, Mary. Absolutely true. Two of my friends were killed by their husbands. Oh, I'm truly sorry about that, sweet universe. Damn. That's why they say, and it's statistically it's true. If a domestic partner, be it female or male, if they're willing to raise their hand in anger towards you or ever, they are going to do it again. It may be after another like Hollywood honeymoon part of the life, everything's good, they apologize, they say they'll never do it again, but if it happens once, it's going to happen again. They've already crossed a line that cannot be crossed and should never be crossed. Stalking is hugely misunderstood behavior. Yeah, Kate, it is, and it's also online. It's getting a lot worse, especially with younger, teenage females. Stalking online is getting a lot worse. Preteens and teens. Question number 6. The correct answer is C as in cat. She was a Playboy playmate on top of being an actress. She hung out and was a playmate at not only Hugh Hefner's estate, but she also would make appearances as a playmate at the casinos and cocktail lounges that he owned. So, but she was also an actress, Dorothy Stratton. Question number 7. Who murdered Dorothy Stratton in 1980 after at least one previous failed attempt to murder her? Was it A, her manager, B, a crazed stalker, C, her estranged husband, or D, a jealous co-star? Question number 7 of 20. Who murdered Dorothy Stratton in 1980 after at least one previous failed attempt to murder her? Pregnant women, Sweet Universe says pregnant women are usually killed by their partner. It's true. At the most vulnerable point in their lives, when they should be safe, and secure, and be getting ready to celebrate, bringing a life into this world. When they're that vulnerable is when they will attack. Sad, true. Question number 7. The correct answer is C as in cat. Her estranged husband. He tried to kill her at one previous occasion before he actually was successful. And people knew that he was not only a sicko, but he was violent, and that he had a loose connection with reality is the best way to put it. I don't want to make fun of people who have mental health issues, but he definitely had mental health issues, control issues on top of it all. But he had tried to kill her once prior before he was actually successful at it. Question number 8. Where was actor and singer Tupac Shakur murdered? Was it A, Hollywood Hills Cemetery, B, Los Angeles Viper Lounge, C, New York City, New York, or D, Las Vegas, Nevada? Question number 8 of 20. Where was actor and singer Tupac Shakur murdered? Good evening, Short and Nice. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you are doing well. Where was actor and singer Tupac Shakur murdered? Question number 8. The correct answer is D as in dog, Las Vegas, Nevada. He was gunned down in Las Vegas, Nevada after I believe it was Tyson boxing match. Tupac. Question number 9. The murder of Notorious B.I.G., aka Biggie Smalls, took place in which year? Was it A, 1997, B, 1996, C, 1995, or D, 1994? Question number 9 of 20. The murder of Notorious B.I.G., aka Biggie Small, took place in which year? We know he had him killed, right? We know who. Well, yeah. I mean, we know. I mean, it took a lot of years, but when we know exactly who, how the murder of Tupac took place. We know who was involved. We know who brought the guns. We know all of that. But still not going to bring back Tupac or Biggie. The whole East Coast, West Coast freaking, rivalry, all that shit. Stupid. Question number 9. The correct answer is A as in apple. 1997. Notorious B.I.G. was murdered. Question number 10. Whoops, I missed it. There we go. Which actor from the TV show Suddenly Susan was murdered but initially ruled a suicide? Was it A, Judd Nelson, B, David Strickland, C, Jonathan Brandis, or D, Phil Hartman? Question number 10 of 20. Which actor from the TV show Suddenly Susan was murdered, but initially it was ruled a suicide? Now with AI, I've seen Sweet Universe. I've seen the hologram of that was how they first started off, in bringing back Biggie and Tupac, and it looked like lifeline, like they were on stage singing. That was a trip. If you watch the videos of that, and with AI, yeah, they can now make anything sound like them, and You should check. You want to check out something that's scary and is go to Spotify and look at the top 10 artists on Spotify and and pick a genre: country, rock, R&B, jazz. I mean, then go down the rabbit hole trying to figure out which ones are real artists and which ones are AI. That's some scary stuff. They even have music videos and everything else that go with them that look like they're, it's a real person singing, these songs. It's all made up. It's going to get worse from here on out. Question number 10. Which actor from the show Suddenly Susan was murdered, but initially it was ruled a suicide? The correct answer is B as in boy, David Strickland. It was initially ruled a suicide, but then that was changed to murder. And that is the first 10 questions of tonight's trivia. As we always do, if you're new here, let me tell you how this works. After the first 10 questions, we take a 7-minute break. Do whatever you need to do for the next 7 minutes. Smoke a bowl, mainline some heroin. I don't care. I'm not doing it. You do what you do. Make a sandwich, go to the bathroom. But while we're taking this 7-minute break, I'm going to cover 2 people in America that are missing and endangered during this 7-minute break. The break doesn't start until I actually start reading the actual the cases of the people who are missing. But I want to let everyone know that I am working with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, the Charlie Project, along with the FBI and NamUs, along with state and local law enforcement agencies. Together, we aim to shine a light on these cases, support the families impacted, and keep their stories alive in hopes of bringing a resolution. Don't forget, just because these people may have been missing for a while doesn't mean that there is no hope. J.C. Dugard was missing for 18 years before she was reunited with her family. And all the way to the right there is the missing poster for April Dawn Andrews, a real missing person who has been missing for now approximately 22 years. But April Dawn Andrews, there have been countless leads and tips that have come in over the years that she is alive and well in and around the Oklahoma, Arkansas area. But there have also been tips in Oklahoma, Texas, and Missouri as well. That is an age-progressed photo of what she may look like today. Her hair could be darker. It could be lighter. She could be wearing glasses. But she is a real person who is out there missing. Every year in America, 600,000 people are reported missing. I focus on the small fraction of those that do not and are not found within a short period of time. Most people who are reported missing are found, or relocated within 90 days. I focus on the 170,000 to 175,000 who are missing and no one knows what happened to them. We may have tips or leads, to where to look for them, but we don't know exactly what happened. With that in mind, you have one tip you can call in. It can help solve a case. You see something, say something. Know something, speak up. Our first missing person tonight is Kenneth Keith Schmidt. He was 53 years of age when he vanished. He is a Caucasian male. He was last seen on 5/20 of 2024. He vanished from the Dickinson, North Dakota area. He is 5'9", 140 to 145 pounds. He has green eyes and gray-brown hair. Obviously, in the picture, you can see it's a lighter brown, but it was longer like this when he vanished. but he is graying, obviously, at his age of 53. He has several tattoos, but he has no medical conditions that would make him vanish. Schmidt was last seen his residency in Dixon, North Dakota at 6:03 p.m. on May 20th of 2024. He left on foot, but he left behind his vehicle, his cell phone, and all other belongings except his wallet, his job, and his job book. He worked in the flooring business, installing hardwood flooring, linoleum, carpet, stuff like that is what he did in the flooring business. And he was a reputable business owner. In the days before he went missing, Schmidt had not been returning calls to people, including from a person who was trying to figure out why he hadn't completed a job for her. All of the supplies and everything to complete the job were there, but he also left behind all his tools there at the job site. Another person that was trying to get a hold of him because he had completed the job for him, and they were just trying to figure out how to pay him. He never came back to collect the money. Distinguishing for things to look for when you're for Schmidt. He's a white male with gray hair, green eyes. Schmidt wears glasses. He has a watch or a clock tattoo on the top of his left wrist, a tattoo on his left upper arm at the shoulder like a clock with skulls instead of numbers, a tattoo on his back that may be of a snake skeleton. It's kind of hard to tell. There's no real clear high definition photos of that tattoo. But the photos of his tattoos, I'll show you in a second here. Okay, so the top right one is the clock with skulls instead of numbers, and the bottom one is the other tattoo that's by his wrist. It kind of looks like a watch with a ribbon on the tattoo, but you see how he looks different, in the bottom left photo, compared to the top right. He looked, and on a day-to-day basis, he would look more like the one in the top, but when working, he always put his hair up inside of his hat so it wouldn't get in his face while he's bent over on the floor working. If you know anything about what happened to Keith, you can call the Dixon Police Department at 1-701-456-7759. Or you can click on the link there for missing persons in the state of North Dakota. And you can leave an anonymous tip at the missing persons link, but not the phone number for the police department. Our next missing person this week is Valerie Robbins. She was 69 years old when she vanished. She is a Caucasian female. She was last seen on either 10/9 or somewhere between then and 10/11 of 2016. She vanished from Coral Springs, Florida. She is 5'5" to 5'8", with 110 to 115 pounds, brown eyes, brown and graying hair. She has no known tattoos, but she does have the condition. She needs to have glasses. She can't see anything. She's damn near blind without glasses. So she will be wearing glasses if seen. Robbins was the last seen in Coral Springs on October 9th of 2016, or the days leading up to it, the 11th of October. She wasn't reported missing right away, as she would go weeks without contacting anyone. This goes for family and friends. She was very reclusive and kept to herself a lot. Her neighbors didn't even know she was missing until a month or so afterwards, when the landlord came to put notice of eviction on the door. And that is only then that people are like, you know what? I haven't seen her in a while. People who kind of knew her and were friendly with her in and around her complex, nobody knew she was even gone. But again, she disappeared either between October 9th and leading up to the 11th, somewhere in there in 2016. Did she, like so many other people, just walk away from everything and decide she wanted to reinvent herself somewhere else? Did an ex-boyfriend, get a hold of her and do something, to her? We don't know. That all would be conjecture. But if you know anything about what may have happened to her, you can call 1-954-493-8477. You cannot remain anonymous at that number. That is the Broward Sheriff's Department. They are the only ones that are working her missing person case currently. Break time is not over with yet. You have 3 minutes and 8 seconds. 3 minutes and 8 seconds left of your break. JDR's, I'm drinking a bubble, sparkling water. I don't think I've ever had one of those. I've seen them in the store. And good evening, Broken Justice. Smoke them if you got them. Or don't, whatever. Going to send the video to you. You'd be floored. Never seen the AI toys. This is bad. One of the small bears, the other looks like a cheap version of computer people of really young kids. Oh. Bubbly. I've seen it in the stores. There's a lot of new beverage, like sparkling waters and bubble, hot waters out there. Me, I'm a firm, drinker of Liquid Death. I like Liquid Death's waters, especially the squeezed to death, the orange. I drink a lot of them. Not drinking one tonight though. I drank the last one this morning. I got to place a Costco order tomorrow. Get them. Ice cold Miller Lite, 1 of 3. I'll be sending an email about the AI toys. Excuse me. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds left, approximately. As I say it, it ticks off a second. So right around 1 minute and 30 left. I need to get sparkling grape juice for my family's Christmas Eve. Kids love it. Like the Welch's makes up one, Sweet Universe. It's we buy the Martinelli's apple juice, sparkling apple juice every year for Christmas. The kids seem to like that too. Younger generation, I should say. Without any further delay, let's get back to our normal programming. Question number 11 is now on your screen. Comedian, actor, and singer Phil Hartman was murdered in 1998 by who? Was it A, crazy stalker, B, his former manager, C, his wife, or D, Pauly Shore? Question number 11. Comedian, actor, and singer Phil Hartman was murdered in 1998 by who? Some of you like it, some of you hate it. It's like everything in this world, isn't it? It's hard to find something that everyone likes, especially at a family gathering. I saw the video, my mind was blown. I thought it for sure. You got to see it. Comedian, actor, singer Phil Hartman. Phil Hartman of Saturday Night Live fame. And see, he was on. Was he on News Radio with Rogan at the time? I don't remember that part. I know he was on some show when he was murdered. But question number 11. The correct answer is C, as in cat. His wife killed him, and everybody knew it was going to happen. All of his friends had tried to get him to stay away from her. They were like, she's going to kill him someday, or she's going to do something to him. We know it. And they tried, but it's love, man. He just couldn't get away from her. Question number 12. Which Hollywood actor was murdered while filming the movie The Crow? Was it A, Brandon Lee, B, Bruce Lee, C, Burt Lee, or D, Bubba Watson Lee? Question number 12 of 20. Which Hollywood actor was murdered while filming the movie The Crow? I saw a couple of reenactments of his last days. She was bipolar. She had serious problems. Which Hollywood actor was murdered while filming the movie The Crow? Question number 12. The correct answer is A, as in apple. Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son. Brandon Lee was murdered. It was clearly murder. Don't care if anybody wants to call it an accident. It was murder. Question number 13. Official cause of death was ruled an overdose. Years later, it was determined to be tainted drugs. Who died outside the Viper Room in 1993? Was it A, River Phoenix, B, Jonathan Brandis, C, Bob Marley, or D, George Harrison? Question number 13 of 20. The official cause of death was ruled an overdose. Years later, it was determined to be tainted drugs. Who died outside of the Viper Room in 1993? Question number 13 of 20. Bob Barker, Lemon Pie is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Lemon Pie. Bob Barker. Question number 13. The correct answer is A, as in apple. River Phoenix. I will never forget, the movie, Stand by Me with River Phoenix, the child, well, teenager, I guess he was at the time during that filming of Stand by Me. Great, great actor. Tragic loss. Question number 14. Actress Krista Helm was murdered in 1977. The murder was believed to be a cover up for what? Was it A, a mob hit, B, jewelry theft, C, political blackmail, or D, get her diary of Hollywood affairs? Question number 14 of 20. Actress Krista Helm was murdered in 1977. The murder was believed to be a cover up for what? Think of the movie, Stand by Me. You have River Phoenix in there. What was his name? Wheaton. Will Wheaton. Now, God, I've like the last name came to me, and I'm like, yeah, Will Wheaton. It was in there with him. Corey Feldman. Great actors. Bob Barker was a huge contributor to our pet rescue. Really? There is Bob Barker, and the man from The Price is Right fame, and there is Bob Barker, an actual business that has zero to do with the actor. Bob Barker Enterprises makes things that are sold in penitentiaries and jails. They make everything from flip flops to packaging of Jolly Ranchers and candies, hard candies, and everything in between. That's Bob Barker Enterprises. And there is no Bob that does nothing. That Bob Barker has nothing to do with the actual Bob Barker from The Price is Right or The Price is Wrong, bitch. It's too bad they couldn't, with CGI, bring him back for Happy Gilmore too. I mean, they played clips of the original Bob Barker, clips in there in Happy Gilmore too. Mattress tag tear off. Question number 14. The correct answer is D as in dog. So actress Krista Helm was believed to have a diary that she kept a list of people who were having affairs, along with a list of men that she had been with herself. And her murder was believed to be a cover-up for that, to get that actual diary. Don't know if the diary ever existed. That's the part that there's been people who say that they have come across the diary. There have been pictures of what it may have looked like, but nobody can really confirm if that she even had a Hollywood diary of of people who were having affairs. But that's the believed story about it. Question number 15. Which legendary musician and actor was murdered outside his apartment building in 1980? Was it A, Bob Marley, B, Marvin Gaye, C, John Lennon, or D, Richard Jeni? Question number 15 of 20. Which legendary musician and actor was murdered outside his apartment building in 1980? Vladimir Lenin. Vladimir Lenin was murdered outside of his apartment in 1980. The correct answer to question number 15 is C, as in cat. John Lennon was murdered outside of his apartment building in 1980 by a crazed fan we all know too well, unfortunately. And he is out there right now doing whatever the hell he wants. Question number 16. Marvin Gaye, the singer, songwriter, actor, was murdered in cold blood by who? Was it A, Todd Bridges, B, his father, C, his wife, or D, Gary Coleman? Question number 16 of 20. Marvin Gaye, the singer, songwriter, actor, was murdered in cold blood by who? Seriously, whatever happened to Pauly Shore, he's still around acting to this very day. You'll see him on just like, well, unfortunately, I don't know if this is going to happen in the future, but you'd always see Pauly Shore, Andy Dick. I don't know if he's going to be alive much longer because, if you've been keeping up with that, he just overdosed on the streets in Hollywood recently. And I guess they gave him like multiple Narcans to bring him back. But what you talking about, Will? What you talking about, Willis? But these they used to be superstars at a point, but now they're like D-list celebrities, along with some others. But they always do like these roasts, or they do guest appearances. That trying to make a buck still off of their initial fame. Pauly Shore, I think he still does some comedy, stand up. I'm not entirely sure though. Last time I heard, he lost his house, I think, in the Palisade fires. I'm not 100% sure of that one though. But anyways, question number 16: Who murdered Marvin Gaye in cold blood? The correct answer is B, as in boy, his father. Marvin Gaye's own father murdered him. Question number 17. What you talking about, Willis? Which different stroke star was murdered in 1984? Was it A, Gary Coleman, B, Todd Bridges, C, Dana Plato, or D, Sam Wright? Question number 17 of 20. What you talking about, Willis? Which different stroke star was murdered in 1984? Andy Dick, KQ. You can look it up on TMZ. They actually have a video of man who came upon Andy Dick. His glass is on the ground in front of him, and he's like clearly overdosing and almost dead. He starts rubbing his sternum, and they gave him, I think, 2 or 3 Narcan shots up the nose, but I guess he was overdosing on fentanyl. But Andy Dick has had a drug addiction issue for a long time. But that's damn near, it was like the last day of his life. I think that was just this past week. Question number 17. What you talking about, Willis? Which different stroke star was murdered in 1984? The correct answer is C, as in cat, Dana Plato. She played Gary Coleman and Todd Bridges' sister on Different Strokes. She was murdered in 1984. Question number 18. I see nothing. Who murdered actor Bob Crane, Captain Hogan, in 1978? Was it A, Pauly Shore, B, Chad Daybell, C, Brent Markham, or D, John Carpenter? Question number 18 of 20. I see nothing. Who murdered actor Bob Crane, Captain Hogan, in 1978? I have a dose of Narcan in my bathroom right now. Well, I hope you sweet universe, you never have to use it. I've never had to, I've never had to give Narcan to somebody, but I took a CPR class, got CPR certified. I volunteer with a family fraternal organization, the Loyal Order of the Moose, and since I was an administrator at our local lodge, we all had to be CPR certified. So we went through not only giving CPR, but we learned how to use and administer Narcan, along with the defibrillator, all these things that were part of the class that we actually went through. But I've never had to do it. I know how. I know how you're supposed to administer it. So I hope that I never have to. I hope that you never have to either. Always watched Hogan's Heroes and F Troop with your dad after school when you were little. All right, question number 18. The correct answer is D as in dog. John Carpenter is believed to have been the person who killed Bob Crane. Bob Crane was into some kinky ass stuff. If you ever want to go down a rabbit hole, look up the murder in the life of Bob Crane. But John Carpenter. Question number 19. Which serial killer killed fashion designer Gianni Versace in 1997? Was it A, John Wayne Gacy, B, Ted Bundy, C, Andrew Cunanan, or D, Ed Gein? Question number 19 of 20. Which serial killer killed fashion designer Gianni Versace in 1997? You have a bad fentanyl problem where you live, sweet universe? I'm sorry. But likewise, there are people out there that keep on mixing fentanyl with other drugs, like they're stepping on cocaine, or they're cutting other drugs like meth and weed, and they're mixing fentanyl in with it, especially the fentanyl in dabs, not in the actual weed itself, but to make it more profitable by stepping on it. And then there are the people out there that use fentanyl itself. It's sad. Didn't John Carpenter introduce Bob Crane to filming everything? He may have, sweet universe. I'm not particularly on the top of it right off the top of my head. I just know he was into some really kinky stuff and filming it all. But question number 19, the correct answer is C. Andrew Cunanan, the serial killer, is who killed Gianni Versace in 1997. Question number 20. Actress Adriana Shelley's 2006 death was initially mistaken for what? A suicide, B, a heart attack, C, a drug overdose, or D, a car accident? Question number 20 of 20. Actress Adriana Shelley's 2006 death was initially mistaken for what? One of your best friends just got out of rehab. One day at a time. And I pray and I hope, sweet universe, that they are able to make a go of it. I have family members that it took a long time, and several different rehab visits, extended rehab, not just 30 days in or out or 90 days in and out, long-term rehab before it finally connected and they're able to put some years behind them. Especially my nephew Brandon. He was addicted to meth. He burned every damn bridge that there is possible 2 and 3 times over. But I really hope that your friend is able to make a go of it. Question number 20 of 20. The correct answer is A as in apple. It was initially ruled a suicide, but later it was changed to murder. Okay, so that's the 20 questions. I have 2 video clips that I have had for a while that I've been trying to put into one of the videos, live streams for trivia night. So I'm going to play them, and you're gonna like them both, but I haven't been able to find a proper place to play them yet. So here's the first one. Okay, that was obviously the clip from Psycho. Interesting, in case you didn't notice, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. In the actual scene itself, after she dies, she's been stabbed to death, by Bates, dressed up like his mother. He couldn't find anything that looked like blood that would be cast on the wall and then running down the tub into the drain. That is Hershey's chocolate syrup. That is what he found that was had the consistency of blood running down the tub and being cast onto the shower curtain and the wall. Hershey's chocolate syrup. Next one. Again, I'd never had any place to play these, any of the trivia nights.
Don't watch the man mix that martini. Watch the man on the sofa. In 10 seconds, he will be dead. There are scores scores of crimes committed in the United States each year that remain unsolved.
And that's it. I've had those clips. I paid for the licensing to rebroadcast them. Today, this in the month of December. I've had those clips since January. They're in a folder and I labeled Trivia Night clips, and I just never found a place from January to now to use them. Now, as you see this now, there is a good chance that both of those licensing agreements may have expired, and I will have to trim them out later on. So if you're watching this and rewinding and you didn't see anything just now, the two clips, then that's probably why. It's because I had to trim them out because the licensing agreements have both expired. Tragic use of chocolate syrup. The stabbing sound was watermelon. I didn't know that part, Mary Frederick, and I'm glad that you had fun. I hope that everyone had fun, with tonight's trivia. How did you do tonight? This is completely optional to give yourself a letter grade. Based solely on my previous experience and knowledge on all of these, I wouldn't have gotten any of them right. Well, except for maybe the Tupac Shakur one. But for some reason in my mind, I thought Tupac was actually murdered elsewhere. I didn't think it was in Las Vegas, but I remembered something about in my mind that it was connected to a Tyson fight. But I didn't remember where. But I wouldn't have gotten any of them other than maybe that one. And I was way off on when Biggie Smalls was murdered. I can never remember which one happened first, Tupac or Biggie. I just remember that Snoop Dogg was friends with both of them, and he wanted to peace, but there were people who were out there who were advocating to keep the East Coast West Coast battle and fight going because it helped them sell more records, especially with Death Row. But again, it's completely optional. We only play for entertainment. Did you know that 100% of tonight's trivia subjects matter are viewer suggested? Every single trivia night that I do. This again is the 386th trivia night that I've done. 386 now have been completed, and every one of them is a viewer suggestion. I do not pick these topics. People suggest them, and I start looking into them. Is there enough interest out there for people that want to answer these questions? Next week's trivia night is on the White House farm murders. The White House farm murders is next week's trivia subject matter. If you want to look up and brush up on their knowledge of the White House farm murders, that is what next week's trivia subject matter is. Dana from Different Strokes left the show in 84, but died in 99. Do remember seeing Adrienne Shelley. She was predicted as being up and coming. Kitty Q, I have it. I have it written down right here on my paper. On that, I am going to look into it, and if I'm sure Kitty Q is correct, and I will give Kitty Q a shout out next week. died of an OD. Who died of an OD? Adriana Shelley? Was it of her own accord, or did somebody else give her the drugs? Just like, Belushi. Did he die of an overdose, or was he murdered? He had never done a speedball before, and when he was found, he was tied to a chair. Did he tie himself to the chair? I highly doubt it, but it looks more like murder to me when it comes to someone like Belushi and some of these other people. You have to say, okay, how did they get the drugs? Who gave them the drugs? Did Matthew Perry? Did he die? Of an overdose, or was he murdered? Dana Plato died of an OD. I used to watch Siskel and Ebert when they were still alive. I think they were talking about Dana and Adriana Shelley. Oh. Robin Williams was there just before John died. That's a tragic loss right there. Robin Williams. Mork from Ork. Tune in, Mork. Mork. Mork from Ork. That was a great show, Mork and Mindy. I used to watch that all the time when I was younger. Don't want to say just how date myself, too much, but Matthew Perry, he died of an overdose, but was given the drugs by a doctor who was not supposed to be given this drug. True, wasn't well I'm not going to get into it too much with Matthew Perry, but yes, I believe though. But Matthew Perry, I mean, if it was negligence on the part of the doctor who just now recently, was sentenced to jail for his, involvement in it, but I don't think they charged him with murder. But I don't know. I would have charged him with murder. He testified in the trial of the drug dealer who gave him the drugs. Keanu Reeves was there when River Phoenix died. They were bestie friends. I remember that, something about that, Kitty Coo, about Keanu Reeves and River Phoenix being close. Can you imagine dying on a sidewalk outside of the Viper Room? That's a hell of a place to go. I mean, Miss Robin Williams, Sweet Universe. Nanu. Mork from Ork. No, or was that like this? What was that? There were so many great shows that used to be on around that time. I used to watch Bosom Buddies as well. And of course, I also used to watch like I'd like in my mind. I think the Bob Newhart show was on back then too. But I could be wrong. I liked it though. Your favorite movie is The Fisher King with Robin Williams. It was Jacqueline who called 911. Really. I agree, Will. Those doctors laughed at Matthew on the phone. It was horrible bragging about the cash money they were getting from him. Yeah, you can have negligent homicide. It's still murder. Be surprised how many people in America die each year at the hands of of medical malpractice. You would really be surprised if you saw the numbers. It makes these serial killers out there look like a pittance, like they're rookies. They have to kill one at a time. A doctor can make a simple mistake with a prescription, and kill 50 people in a day. And then there's like the angel of deaths and stuff like that. The mercy killings. Of some of these nurses. That ain't nothing compared to what a doctor can do just by making errors. Bosom buddies. One of my favorite movies with Robin Williams though, Dead Poets Society, was a great movie. I like that. I like that one. What was the one where he worked he was a serial killer and he worked as a in a photo studio, developing film. Robin Williams, completely different, from the comedy and everything else, doing completely different, something different. You gotta go. Thank you, Will, and everyone from the chat for being here. Thank you again, Kitty Q. You have a great week ahead. And if anybody wants to know which one of the trivia nights, in case you forget later on, it is already up on the channel for next Sunday. You can click on it to be reminded, of what the next trivia subject is and when it is. 1 hour photo. Thank you, Ivory Lady. 1 hour photo. Completely different. It's just like Jim Carrey he did stuff that was completely different from comedy. So did some other actors, comedy legends. Have done that one or two films that has been completely out of character for them, but they were perfect in it. And Robin Williams was perfect in that. Yeah, but Dead Poets Society, probably one of my favorites. The Fisher King was good too. Don't get me wrong. Crazy we were not allowed to watch Bosom Buddies, Three's Company, or Soap. Oh my God, that Soap was so funny. Billy Crystal. I forgot all about Soap. Soap was hilarious. Yeah, but maybe it was because Pepadatos, because it's too risque for the shows. Bosom Buddies and Three's Company. I mean, one man living with two single women in an apartment. Cross dressers in another. Soap. I mean, Jesus, Soap tackled every subject matter out there, homosexuality to, promiscuity, you name it. It was on Soap somewhere. I forgot all about Soap. That's terrible of me. Billy Crystal, you look marvelous. Excuse me. Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Tragic loss, Phil Hartman. I really liked, back then. Now I used to watch Saturday Night Live all the time. Yeah, I don't know, not so much anymore. Every once in a while, I'll catch a clip of it on YouTube, and watch it. But I don't tune into it to watch it in television. I mean, I don't watch any television now at all. That was over my head when you were a kid. Hmm. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up tonight's trivia night. Again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight for trivia night. Again, if on the way out, if you want to hit that thumbs up button, it helps, the algorithm know that somebody enjoyed it, and it takes a whole lot of them to get something out of it, but it helps a tiny bit, to let the algorithm know that somebody is interacting, that somebody was here and watched it. But if you would hit that thumbs up button, I would appreciate it. If you are new here, click that subscribe button so you'll be notified when the next content comes out. But again, thank you, everyone, and I hope that you all have a great week ahead. Stay safe out there. Bye.